it going, guys? Welcome back to Unknown Capital. In this video, I got my 2022 World Cup group stage predictions. It's going to be a very interesting World Cup. For the first time in the history of the World Cup, it's happening in November and finish off in December. And these are my World Cup predictions, so let's get right into the video. So guys, let's start with Group A. So Group A, we got Qatar, Ecuador, Netherlands, Senegal. And who do I think is going to come bottom of the group? Unfortunately, it's Qatar for me. Like Qatar, yes, they are hosting the World Cup, and a lot of Qataris don't want to hear this. But compared to the rest of the group, they have the worst squad depth in my opinion. They have a decent manager in Felix Sanchez, a Spanish manager, and they got a couple of players which you have to look out for. The goalkeeper, Saad Al-Shaib, who plays for Al Said. And then we got Akram Afif, who plays for Al Said, and he played in Europe for a decent amount. He played for Villarreal but never started. He went on loan for a couple of European clubs, but I just believe the squad depth is not good enough. But who do I think is going to come in third position? In third position, unfortunately, it's going to be Senegal. And let me explain why. Like Senegal, they're a very good team. They're the likes of Koulibaly, Edouard Mendy. Who else do they have? Sadio Mane, unfortunately, he's been injured. And I'm missing one more player, Ismail Shah from Watford, who used to play for Watford. I think he plays for Everton now. Like, they do have a very, very good team, but unfortunately, them losing Sadio Mane, I feel like it's a big loss. But even though he's been confirmed to be taken to the World Cup, I just feel like without him, they're missing a pivotal part of the team. So that's why I'm going for Senegal in third place. But in second place, who do I think who's gonna go through in the group? And I think it's gonna be Ecuador. Let me explain why Ecuador. And Ecuador are a very, very tough team to beat. I feel like Ecuador, recently, in the last 7 games, they've gone with 5 draws and 2 wins. And in the 5 draws, they have actually drawn against some very, very, very good international teams. The likes of Saudi Arabia. Yes, Saudi Arabia in the World Cup stage sometimes don't perform. But in the last 2 World Cups, they qualified. So that's a big must. And Ecuador also have drawn against the likes of Argentina, the 1-1 draw. Yes, Argentina, everyone knows Argentina. They have Messi, Di Maria, Lisandro Martinez. The list goes on and on and on. I'm telling you, Ecuador on their day is going to be tough. And I think Ecuador could even top the group. I know this is something which I'm saying is utter shite. I know you could think I'm saying utter rubbish. But in their day, I'm telling you, Ecuador are strong. And I think they could easily get a draw against the Netherlands, go out there and beat Senegal and Qatar. But saying that, I think Netherlands are going to top the group. Let's look at Netherlands. They got Luis van Gaal back, and in the first game, they're playing Senegal. And I feel like this is just going to be good. Just look at the Netherlands squad. Virgil van Dijk and De Ligt. I just think that's probably the best centre-back pairing in this World Cup. And probably in Europe. Like De Ligt, this man is so good on the ball. And Virgil van Dijk, where do I start? This guy's won a Champions League and a Premier League. And he's unbeatable. Yes, this season with Liverpool, he's a bit lackluster, but I'm telling you, when you put your country's shirt on, I'm telling you, you're gonna go different. There's the likes of Gampo, there's the likes of Frankie de Jong, De Ligt, or what's his name, Dumfries. They have such a good team, so that's why I'm gonna go for Netherlands to top the group. Guys, let's move on to Group B, the group of death everyone's calling it, because FIFA rankings, this is the best group. So who do you have in this group? So in this group, we got England, Iran, Wales and USA. But who do you think is going to come with 4th position? In 4th position, unfortunately, I'm going for US of A. And let me explain for why USA. They do have a great team. They're a great amount of players. They got a guy called Sargent. They got Christian Pulisic, Tyler Adams, Weston McKenzie, Raya from Dortmund. Yes, I'm not saying they don't have a good team, but unfortunately, they just, leading up to this World Cup, I just don't have this confidence in USA. Like, I don't know why. Like, USA, they didn't make it to the 2018 World Cup. I think they didn't make it to the 2014 World Cup. And yes, they're probably one of the best teams in North America. But there's so many other teams which are better than them in North America, the likes of Costa Rica, Mexico. And I just feel like they're in a group which is quite difficult, because Iran have probably qualified for the last 3 World Cups quite well. Wales is a footballing nation. But like, in my opinion, I just feel like USA, they're just not good enough in my opinion. As I said, there are players to watch out like Christian Pulisic, Tyler Adams, who plays for Leeds, who's got a decent amount of contributions for them. Christian Pulisic, if he could finish, he'd probably be one of the best wingers in Europe. But unfortunately, I'm going to go for USA in 4th place. In 3rd place, I'm going for Wales. I know everyone's thinking, what? Wales? They have great amount of players. They have Gareth Bale, they got Aaron Ramsey, Joe Allen. Keith Moore from Bournemouth, the big striker. Like, how can he go for them in third place and not second? Unfortunately, guys, I just think Wolves are just average at best once again. Like, Gareth Bale, he's probably the one to watch for them, or Keith Moore from Bournemouth. But like running up to the World Cup, they did play quite well against Austria, but Austria are not a great team, so they had a quite easy qualification. And yes, they should have played Russia, but because of all this Russian-Ukraine thing, they avoided that and got into the World Cup. So for that reason, I just don't know. Something about Wales in the recent form of France, they've done okay. In the Euros, they got to the knockout stages, but in Euros you should get to the knockout stages. But in 2016, they did do well in the Euros, did quite well in the Euros, getting to a semi-final. But I just think they probably won't translate this. But saying this, the game against England against Wales, it could go either way. It's going to be like a stalemate, but I'm still going for Wales for third place. In second place, I know everyone's thinking I'm going for Iran. I just feel like Iran are such a good team. Sorry guys, I just need to look on my computer just to give you the information. So Iran, they've actually been a decent team. They've actually had they always dominate in a lot of Asia Cup. They dominate in Asia qualification. They run through with flying colours, and they actually have a decent amount of teams. They got a guy called Mendy Tarmini. He plays for Porto, and his stats for Iran are really good. I think in 60 appearances, he's got something like 27 goals and 13 assists. And I feel like Iran overall, they're going to be quite tough for a lot of teams. And everyone remembers the 2018 World Cup. I think they were in the same group of Spain and Spain and Portugal, and they took Portugal quite deep, like where Portugal won with the 1-0 victory, and Spain game, it was quite close as well. So that's why I'm going for Iran second. But first position, I'm going for the home team. It's coming home, England. Let me explain why. England are actually such a good team in my opinion, and I feel like we need to at least be getting out the group. Like first for sure, second it doesn't matter. If we get top two, we just need to qualify. The first game against Iran is going to be very difficult because Iran are a very good team. As I said, they're Mehdi Taremi, who scored what? For Iran, he scored something 27 goals and 13 assists over 60 games, which is great stats in my opinion. But I just feel like England have so much better players with the likes of Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka. You need to watch out for him. Let's move on to Group C. So we do on Group C. So in Group C, we've got Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. And who do I think is going to come above the group? Unfortunately for me, it's going to be Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia actually have done quite well in the last two World Cups. They beat the likes of Egypt, I remember. They did come above the groups in the last World Cup. And in this World Cup, I think they're just in a very tough group. Look at their group. We have Mexico, who are some decent players, and some great players. We got Poland, who never do great in the World Cup, but always like qualifying for the World Cup, do really well. And we've got Argentina, one of the favorites for this World Cup. And unfortunately, that's the reason why Saudi Arabia is coming above the group. Like leading up to the World Cup, they beat the likes of North Macedonian friendlies, Iceland friendlies, Panama, they drew. So they've been doing okay, and you never know, they could be a dark horse, but unfortunately I have to give them fourth position. And the player which I'm going to say to watch out for, because for every team I'm going to give a couple of players to watch out for, I'm gonna go for Salim Al-Darawi. Like this guy, Salim Al-Darawi, before the 2018 World Cup, he joined Villarreal on loan. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him, but in the 2018 World Cup, he was a talisman which allowed them to give them all the goals. But that's why I'm going for Saudi Arabia in fourth position. In third position, this might be a shock to a lot of people, but I'm going for Poland. Yes, Poland have Lewandowski, but every year every major tournament, they just don't do well. Like Poland have a great team. They're the likes of Maty Cash, Lewandowski. Who else do they have? Zelensky. Zelensky recently has been doing a madness with Napoli, and I think he could surely take his form from Napoli into Poland. But I feel like Poland just every year they just get there and just fall short. I could be wrong, but I'm telling you, like it's gonna be tough. Like in the Euros they did okay. In World Cup, in the last World Cup, they should go through the group, but unfortunately fell a bit short. And I just feel like this World Cup is going to be the same thing. I know a lot of people are going to come for me, but the player to watch out for, in my opinion, for Poland has to be Lewandowski. He showed the Ballon d'Or 2 seasons ago. He's been scoring goals for Bayern Munich and Barcelona recently. So unfortunately for that reason, Poland just missed out. In second position, I'm going for Viva la Mexico. And let me explain why. Mexico in the last World Cup had a great group. And went through in a very difficult group. In that group was Mexico, Sweden, Germany, and South Korea. And they have a lot of good players. Mexico, they got Carlos Vela, they got the keeper, what's his name, Julian Ochoa, the guy who goes like Neuer at every World Cup. And the player to watch out for is Irving Lozano. As I said, like Irving Lozano is the same thing which Zelensky's doing. He's doing an absolutely great season with Napoli, and I feel like they can translate that. And I just feel like Mexico just out the edge for me. And the World Cup, I just want them to go deep into the World Cup because of the beautiful kit. But in first position, I'm going for Argentina. Argentina are probably one of the favorites to win the World Cup. And recently they've announced their provisional 26-man squad. And I thought they've taken every player which they got. Lisandro Martinez from Man United. This guy is a tank at the back. And in with Nicolas Otamendi is going to be great. And I think Sergio Romero is injured. Or I don't know if they've taken him. I'm sorry. I should have done my research, sorry guys, but look at the likes of Lionel Messi, Pablo Dybala, Lautaro Martinez last season, guys, everyone just thought, what happened to Inter Milan? They just about fell short. And this year, they went through in a tough group of Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Barcelona, and they went out there in Camp Nou, and Lisandro Martinez was a big man to open that team. And I feel like Argentina can just go deep in this World Cup. So guys, let's move on to Group D. What team are they in Group D? We got France, Tunisia, Denmark, and Australia. And who do you think is going to come in fourth position? Unfortunately, in fourth position, I'm going to go for Australia. And yes, it's a very bad one. A lot of people from the land down under is going to attack me. They've been to a lot of World Cups. But I just feel like in this group, Tunisia just edges me a little bit more than Australia. And Australia, the part of the World Cup has been a very tough one. And they're just about made it to the World Cup, winning with a 6-5 penalty win over Peru to get the last intercontinental playoff spot to get into Group D. And I feel like with Australia, I don't know a lot of the players. The only player which I know is Martin Doyle, who plays for Hibernian, the Scottish team, and it's the Scottish league at the end of the day. Like, he's a decent goal scorer for them, and like, I thought Chris Wood plays for them, but he plays for New Zealand, so I'm dumb, sorry guys. But like, Australia just, they have such a tough group in my opinion. Like, yes, they made it to the World Cup and had a great intercontinental playoffs, but unfortunately fourth position is the most I can give them. In third position, I'm going for Tunisia. And Tunisia actually are a decent team. They made it to the 2018 World Cup. They were in England's group and they put England on the ropes. Everyone remembers it was 1-1 going until the 90th minute where we just about got the winner. And in the rest of the group, they had a great game against Belgium in the 2018 World Cup, and actually beat Panama, so they were actually not that bad in the World Cup. And they've got a lot of players to watch. They got a player called Dylan Brown to watch, who is really good in the centre back position, which a lot of people are craving for. And another place to watch out for Tunisia, they got a player called Kakiri, who was a former Sunderland winger, now plays for Montpellier. And we've got the ex-Man United defender, and who's a Southampton defender called Jan something. So they actually have a decent team in my opinion, Tunisia, and I feel like they could go through in the group. Maybe here and there Denmark might drop points, but unfortunately the most I could give for Tunisia is third position. So in second position, and who goes to the group, I'm going for Denmark. And Denmark in the Euros played exceptional, and I feel like their squad depth is so good. That's why I've put them in second position over the likes of Tunisia and Australia. And let's look at the Denmark squad. The likes of Kasper Schmeichel, Damsgaard. Yes, he's not been the best person for Brentford recently, but I still believe he still has a lot in him, and I feel like his performance in the Euros was what got him that Brentford move. They've got Christensen, and I feel like I think they got Eriksen back as well. And I feel like yes, Eriksen might be a bit wary because the last major international tournament he went down with the heart problem, but their team is so good. Christian Nørgaard, I can just come out with players. Like, they have such a good squad, and they made it to the Euro semi-finals, and that's why I've given the edge in second position. But first position, I'm gonna go with France. Le Bleu. Like, France this year, I feel like their group is quite easy. Like, Denmark's gonna be only the oddest game in my opinion. Like, Tunisia could be odd, but they should be beating them. Like, look at the France squad. Yes, Paul Pogba's out, but this guy's average at best. Kante's out, yes, in midfield they're struggling, but they're the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Kingsley Coman, Ousmane Dembele, Hugo Lloris, Kimpembe just recently got injured, Raphael Varane. Like, both of the Hernandez brothers. So they have a great team in my opinion, and that's why I've given France the first position, and I think they do deserve it. Teams are there in Group E. So in Group E we've got Spain, Germany, Costa Rica and Japan. And who do I think is going to come in 4th position? This was a tough one. It was between 2 teams, but I just think Japan is unfortunately going to come in last place. I know everyone in the comment section below attacked me. Oh no, you love anime, how could you do this to Japan? But Japan, leading up to the World Cup, the couple of friendlies where they played against the likes of Tunisia, who are another team in another group where they've lost 3-0, and a lot of people are saying that's a cause for concern. I've read a lot of articles that it's this place that was not quite great. Like yes, they did quite well in the 2018 World Cup, so like they do have a great squad, but unfortunately I've just read a lot of articles just before the World Cup saying that the coach is not ready. Like they've qualified quite well, but after qualification they've become a bit lackluster. So that's the worst thing to say before the World Cup starts, and that's what Japan's going in 4th place. The 3rd position in Group E, unfortunately, who just misses out is going to be Costa Rica. And I feel like in Costa Rica and any other group they would have grown through, but to just have the likes of Germany and Spain in your group, it's a sad one. Like Costa Rica in the last 2 World Cups, they made it. They've been quite good. They made it to a World Cup quarterfinals in 2014. In 2018, they couldn't translate the same thing. But they do have a great amount of players. They have the likes of Keylor Navas, Brian Ruiz. Brian Ruiz is the captain of Costa Rica, and he's got 29 goals and from 145 caps, and he's about to just pass 150 caps for Costa Rica. So he's your players to watch out for. They got Keylor Navas, and they got a person called Jusen Benete from Brentford. So they do have a great amount of players. Douglas Lopez, they have great players, but unfortunately just about they miss it because their group is like the real people's group of death with Spain and Germany. But in 2nd position, who is it going to be, Spain or Germany? I've gone for Spain. Because the reason why I've gone for Spain is that Spain have a very young team going to the Euros. They have a great manager in Luis Enrique. Like Luis Enrique, the madness he did with Barcelona, and even in the Euros, get to a Euro semi-finals and lost it to a team which went out there and won the Euros, which was Italy. So that's why I saying that I should have given them first, but Germany are just a little bit better in my opinion because they just have a bit more experience. But with Spain, they got some great players. They got Laporte, Cesar Azpilicueta, Rodri, as I said, Laporte, Gavi, Pedri. Ozabal should have been there, but unfortunately got injured last minute. Raya from Brentford, Roberto Sanchez from Brighton. So they have a great squad, and that's why they go in 2nd position for me. In 1st position, it is Germany. And let me explain why I just gone for Germany just a bit more. Because Germany, like, they have I think Spain just have a very young team coming into this World Cup, and I feel like the experience is just going to let them down because they haven't taken the veterans like Sergio Ramos. Does he deserve it? No. Gerard Piqué, who's just retired for Barcelona right now. Jordi Alba they're taking, so there's still a bit of experience. But Germany, I just feel like they're just better in my opinion. The likes of Rudiger, the likes of Serge Gnabry, Muslera, one of the biggest talents in European football. Like, he's going to be great for them. Timo Werner just about to missed out. Kai Havertz, Mario Götze, like all of them are so good. So that's why I've just given Germany the edge. But between Germany and Spain, you could go either way. Let's move on to Group F. What teams are there in Group F? So in Group F, you've got Croatia, Belgium, Morocco and Canada. And who do I think is coming in 4th position? Unfortunately, it's the African Atlantis. It's going to be Morocco. And I was thinking, Morocco? How is Canada's going to be worse than Morocco? And I just feel like, I don't know, something inside me saying Morocco, and that's why I predicted Morocco. But I just feel like Morocco and Canada, it could go either way. And I feel like Morocco, it could even do good. Because let's look at some of the players which Morocco have. I'm just looking at it right now. Sorry guys, but I can't remember every single player, can I? So Morocco have the likes of Ashraf Hakimi from PSG, Nazur Mazraoui from Bayern Munich. I think he used to play for Ajax, if I'm not wrong. They have the likes of Hakimi Ziyech from Chelsea. The likes of Amin Arat from Olympique Marseille. The likes of Youssef El Nesri from Sevilla. And I'm just saying some of these players. Look, a lot of Morocco players play in the top flight. They have Benasha, who played in the last World Cup. He was born in France, but that's a whole nother video. But something inside me just saying this. I feel like Canada just have a bit more quality. I don't know, that's a mad thing to say because of all the good players which I said, but something inside me is just saying Morocco because they weren't great in the Africa Cups of Nations. They weren't great in that. Like, Ziyech is okay, but he's not a starter. Like, I feel like the player to watch out for me is going to be Ashraf Hakimi. Like, this guy is just really good. But like, I don't know, something inside me just saying Morocco. I'm sorry guys, but Morocco's coming in 4th position. In 3rd position is Croatia. I'm joking. It's Canada, guys. It's Canada. And let me explain why Canada. Because Croatia is just way better than Canada in my opinion. And it's huge for Canada to get into the World Cup. But like, they have a couple of good players, but a lot of the players play the MLS. And MLS is not a great representative of how good players are. Because a lot of players who are from the MLS, who come into the Premier League, it's not many. Like, Alphonso Davies plays okay, like he plays great, but he's only one of the few MLS players to come through and do okay. Like Weston McKenzie's there, like all of them are okay. But let's look at some of the players with Canada have. They're the likes of Alphonso Davies, I said, Jonathan David, who's been a pivotal part of the Lille 2021 campaign, where I think currently he starts at 90 appearances, got 36 goals for Lille. Very versatile player. They're the likes of any big players from Europe. They have a player called Junior Alt who plays for Reading, who plays the 2nd league. They got Kyle Larin who plays for Club Brugge, who did really well this year in the Champions League campaign with Club Brugge because they were the only team which I believe who didn't concede a goal in the group stages. I cannot be wrong, and I feel like, and that's basically the team. And I feel like Canada just have a bit more quality in my opinion. I feel like them just having Alphonso Davies is just opening them a bit more, and I feel like I'm just a bit lenient, so that's why I'm giving them 3rd place. In 2nd position, who's it going to be? Belgium or Croatia? And I'm going for Croatia. Croatia just about go 2nd position, but easily they could go 1st. I feel like this group between 3rd and 4th is going to be battle, between 1st and 2nd is going to be battle. And the only reason I went for Croatia is that the team's a bit aging. They do have great players in Brozovic, Perisic, Modric, Rakitic, is all their itches. But like, they have a great team, and last time to the World Cup they made it to the final. They did quite well in the Euros, but they just couldn't translate the same thing. But that's why I give them 2nd position. And in 1st position I've gone with Belgium. After they get through the group stages, like every year, every major tournament which Belgium go through, like you always have to give Belgium the hopes and due. But something is the managers, not the players. I don't know, something's just not working out. For the first time, Dries Mertens not going to the World Cup. Lukaku ain't going to the World Cup. Lukaku, yes, for Chelsea he hasn't been great. For Inter Milan, he's been exceptional. It's going to be a huge loss for them. But they do have a lot of great players, in my opinion. Belgium, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Mignolet, yes, come on, Thibaut Courtois. I don't know why, I just went blank there. Axel Witsel. Oh, come on guys, that was terrible from me, and that's why I've given them 1st position. So guys, let's move on to Group G. So in Group G, we have actually a decent group. We've got Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon and Brazil. And really I think it's going to come in 4th position. In 4th position, unfortunately, I'm going to go for Cameroon. Like, Cameroon are not probably one of the odd-hitting African giants in the World Cup. I feel like they're one of the weaker ones, and if you look at the World Cup campaign, they just about got into the World Cup. Like, it was a very close game against Algeria, and they just went through on, I think, was it away goals? I think they scored 2 away goals to beat Algeria overall to go through. But after that, if you really look at the team, the squad depth's not strong enough in my opinion compared to a Switzerland, a Serbia or Brazil. Like, the squad depth I just think is not good enough. Like, some of the players like Dave Onana, the Choupo-Moting, but that's the only players I can really recognize. And there is one player called Abu Bakr who plays for Al Said, the Qatari team, and they actually look okay. He looks okay, but I just don't think Cameroon's going to be good enough to get any position more than 4. Yes, in 3rd position, I went with a controversial one. I've gone for Switzerland. Switzerland are actually a very good team. They always make it to all the World Cups, and they actually have a decent squad depth. They have the likes of Zidane Shaqiri, Jan Salma, Granit Xhaka, who's been really good for Arsenal, Manuel Akanji, Haris Seferovic, Embolo's a very good guy. Dennis Zakaria, he's great. Ricardo Rodriguez. So when you look at the team, it's a very formidable team. All of them have very good European success. A lot of players play in Europe. And Switzerland is a team that always do well. And I feel like the only thing which makes them a bit different to Serbia, in my opinion, like with Serbia, they just have a little bit more better players. Like Alexander Mitrovic is fine right now. And they have the likes of Milanovic and the likes of Nemanja Matic and Rakic, and all of them is why Serbia is going to get second. And let's talk about Serbia. Serbia, they actually look quite decent this year. Like always, the Serbia squad's quite good in my opinion. There's the likes of Mitrovic, Matic has been the captain for the last couple of years. But this year, there's the likes of Dusan Tadic, Filipe Kostic from Juventus, which I really like. Likes of, who else do they have? Mitrovic. I don't know, something is giving me that Serbia is going to do well, because if you looked at their European World Cup qualifiers, they actually came top of the group, beat the likes of Portugal, which is not easy. And Portugal are a very good team. They probably have one of the best squad depths in the World Cup right now. So that's where Serbia gets second. But going first, it has to be Brazil, in my opinion. Brazil this year are probably one of the favorites to win. If you look at the Brazil squad, yes, the only player that probably messes Roberto Firmino, like from Liverpool, he's been quite good this season, but every other player he's taken. And I think that from going from a 23-man provisional squad to 26-man provisional squad, it's actually been a great help for Brazil, in my opinion. Like with Brazil's, the extra 3 players, they can take even more quality. But the player to watch out for, I feel like, is Neymar, Gabriel Jesus, and Casemiro, who's going to hold down the defense. But I feel like defensively, Brazil are good. Offensively, they're good. Even the midfield of the pitch, they're good. So that's what Brazil's getting first spot for me. So guys, let's move to the last and final group, which is Group H. What team are there in this group? In this group, we got Portugal, South Korea, Uruguay, and Ghana. But who do I think is going to take last position in this group? Last position in this group, I'm going to go with South Korea. And I know what you're thinking. South Korea, they have some great caliber players. I know the only player you guys can actually name is Son Heung-min, but they have some other players. They're like Yang Yi-chan from Wolves. They've got a great defender from Kim Min-jae from Napoli, and he's having a great season with Napoli. But unfortunately, the squad depth is not good enough in my opinion. And when I was going through the squad, like some of the players, a lot of the players play in South Korea, and I just feel like the caliber in South Korea is probably not good as like the football which you're going to play in South America, Europe, or even some places of North America, or even in Africa. Unfortunately, like Asia football is probably one of the lowest ones in my opinion. The Asian League might be good, but they don't even play in the Qatari League, for instance, which has some decent players, and actually have a lot of players who are going to the World Cup. So for that reason, I'm going South Korea 4th position. But 3rd position, who I'm going to go with? Unfortunately, who's just going to miss out? I'm going to go with Ghana. Ghana, everyone remembers won the 2010 World Cup. They were incredible. If Luis Suarez didn't have his prime and of God safe goal line clearance, they could have actually gone through to the semi-finals, but unfortunately it didn't happen that day. But they won in I'm not sure if they won the 2014 World Cup. I think they may have been, but surely won the 2018 World Cup. But looking at the squad, they actually have a decent amount of good players. They're the likes of Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew, who plays for Crystal Palace. Devin Aki Williams, who plays for Atletico Bilbao. I think there's the 2 brothers, the Nike brothers. And unfortunately, Callum Hudson-Odoi, he couldn't get his place in the squad, and rightly so. He doesn't deserve it, in my opinion. Yes, he's probably better than most people in this Ghana squad, but he just changed his international country recently. I think he wanted to go to the World Cup, and he kind of realized that he's probably at the England squad, and he wasn't that great for Bayer Leverkusen. For that reason, I'm going for Ghana in 3rd place. In 2nd place, I'm going to go with Uruguay. And I feel like Uruguay have a very good team. They're the likes of Luis Suarez, the likes of Darwin Núñez, Fede Valverde. Who else do they have? Godin? I don't think Godin plays anymore. They have the likes of Arejo. Who's the Muslera? I think he's the goalkeeper as well. And I feel like a Piastri. So with Uruguay, what doesn't allow them in 1st position are just how good Portugal is, in my opinion. But saying that, Uruguay in the 2018 World Cup were the team which knocked out Portugal in the knockout stages. And I feel like since then, Uruguay's probably got even better. But I don't know, something about me, I think it's like, for Portugal, I think the caliber just improved a bit more. In the last World Cup, there was no João Cancelo, there wasn't no Ruben Diaz, until what I remember. And since then, the squad has only gone on the way up. Like, Bernardo Silva is great. I feel like in terms of squad depth, if you look at any 26-man squad, Portugal probably have the best squad. So that's why Uruguay is going second. So guys, in first position, I'm gonna go for Portugal. Portugal probably are the favorites to win this group in my opinion. Thanks for watching guys. Hope everyone enjoyed my World Cup group stage predictions. I know it was a very longer video, but guys, I had to go into a depth of the lot of the teams. Yes, I know I waffle, but I had to give a lot of meaningful insights into all the teams, give a player to watch out for every team. So guys, if you guys enjoy the longer form of content, guys, please like, subscribe, comment, put through all the teams which you think is going to go through all the groups. Do you think there could be some groups which will actually go crazy? Do you think England could come fourth and Wales could go top? Or do you think Germany could come last and Spain could go top? Or do you think Uruguay will come top, Portugal be down, and South Korea and Ghana could do well? Just let me know, guys. Everyone, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you later. Peace.